Hey everybody, Cameron back with you. And I'm sharing something with you today that I don't think I've ever told anybody. And if you take cholesterol medication, or if you should be taking cholesterol medication, or you think you might need to, or you're concerned because you have a family history of it, any or all of the above. Um, And I'm kind of going to start from the beginning. This might be kind of lengthy, but what I'm going to share with you truly could save your life. And I do feel like it has certainly saved mine. So uh, many of you know me, and you know my role in healthcare and EMS and ER and flight nursing, flight paramedic. And, I ran dual dual careers, and all the medical stuff, in addition to owning a gym and being completely immersed in not only health, but fitness and nutrition and supplementation and, anything to do with all of that stuff. I was just, I love the science behind it, healthcare and supplements, fitness too, and the biomechanics behind it. But just because you love something, and I ate healthy, I did, and I still do, but just because you eat healthy and you walk the walk, you aren't necessarily healthy. And it's been a few years now. Let's see, it doesn't even matter how long. It's been a while. um I'm no longer in the medical field. Well, actually I am. I take that back. I work for I'm not flying anymore, but I do work for a stem cell clinic and a regenerative medicine clinic. So as I'd mentioned a couple of years ago, I had an appointment with my nurse practitioner, who said, "You know what, Cameron, you're at that age." And after whatever she said after that, I didn't even hear her. I'm like, "What? Wait a second. What does that even mean? At that age?" But yeah, 50s ish, mid 50s, and she said, "You're at the age where we probably need to do more in-depth lab work." And I was pretty regular on lab work, all the stuff that like I said, most of you people know me, my background, and we've all looked at labs and can read labs. And, I've done my own labs a number of different times, and they've all been fine, just your usual Chem 7 and CBC, everything's fine. But she said to me, nurse practitioner, why don't we do a little test called a cardiac IQ? And I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know what that is, but she explained it to me. And essentially it's an advanced cardiac profile with inflammatory markers included. And she said, you're at the age where um, people tend to have cardiac events, and they're seemingly healthy. And she said the reason for that is because, sorry, she said, general practitioners typically don't run an IQ, a cardiac IQ, on their patients. And she said, I think it would be important for us to see what's going on at a more cellular level. I said, yeah, let's do it. So she did. And within a few days, it came back, and it was frightening. I'm just going to be perfectly candid with you. And I wish I had the numbers in front of me. The next video I do, I will have the numbers. I was in the red zone. And for any of you, you don't even need to be able to read labs to know what that means. The red zone is the danger zone. And here's the interesting part. To look at my labs, um, and I had cardiac profile done, troponin and CPK, CPK-MB, all of that stuff was normal. And I had the cardiac IQ done the same day. So the regular labs were normal. The cardiac IQ showed danger zone. And I'm like, what the ever loving hell? And she explained it to me, even though she knew I was at an extensive medical background, she explained it to me like a layperson, which I absolutely love. And I hope I can do that for you because, things don't need to be over our head. We need to be able to process and assimilate things so that we can understand them. And I think to do that, we just need to speak in layman's terms. And quite frankly, the way USA Today writes their newspaper, which I don't know if you know, but it truly is at a sixth grade reading level. So I'm going to try to share things with you at a sixth grade reading level, because that's how most of us learn the best, when we understand. So we had the labs done. They were not good. They were in the red. The whole page was red, 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 red. And it doesn't matter what the individual testing, what the test mean. It wasn't good. And she said, I know you, but even though I do, I'm going to offer you two different routes. She said, we can go the cholesterol medication route, statins, which are beyond horrible. And if any of you are on statins, or you've known people that are on statins, I think they continue to cause more harm than good. I don't agree with them, but I understand that sometimes people think they need them. And general practitioners truly sometimes don't know another route is available. But so we can go the statin route, which would be something like Lipitor. And she said the other option is I'm at a loss here. Oh, you red yeast rice and CoQ10. I said, well, of course. She said, well, that's what I thought. She said, I want you to start CoQ10, red yeast rice, these particular milligrams. And she said, I want you to take them together. And she said, we're going to draw another IQ. And I can't remember the time frame. I want to say 3 months, but I'm not certain on that. But she said, and as always, I know you're good on diet. She said, but maybe consider increasing some fiber, which I was pretty good on that. I think probably better than most people, like psyllium husk and oats and that type of thing. But she said, increase your fiber. And she said, when we have the next labs done, I think you're going to see a significant positive improvement. So I did. I started CoQ10 and red yeast rice and a couple of other things, but I had taken the other things before, like specifically workouts supplements like L-arginine, which is just it's something that contains nitric oxide that increases the diameter, the size of your blood vessels, increases nitric oxide production. And I'm getting off on a tangent, but again, another video. But my goal here is to focus on red yeast rice. CoQ10 and a cardiac IQ test. So I did. I took those. We ran the test again, and in 3 months, I was perfect, and I had zero repercussions. And what I mean by repercussions, like I said earlier, on people that have taken statins, your, at least maybe not everyone, but typical side effects of statins include your body hurts, your muscles, they ache, your legs ache, your body aches, you are lethargic, and you just have an overall feeling like shit. And to me, as an active person that likes doing things, don't like to be sidelined, that is unacceptable to me. It's completely unacceptable. So like I said, I chose not to do the statin route. And by the way, it's really important to note that my blood pressure was fine. So that just goes to show you can eat right, have textbook normal blood pressure, which I did, and my labs were fine. But yet I was a walking time bomb, literally in the red. And I'm going to have those labs next time, but I was in the red. So let's talk about CoQ10 and what we're going to get a little sciencey here, but stick around because there are some things that you need to know regarding CoQ10. You just can't go willy-nilly buy CoQ10 and think it's going to work. And if I was tech savvy enough to share my screen, I would show you a chart that I have. And I might be able to do that here in a second, figure that out. But so what do we have with CoQ10, and why is it so effective in attacking bad cholesterol? Well, CoQ10, it is naturally formed in your body, which is a good thing. It's an incredibly unique antioxidant, and we all know what that term means. It kind of rose in the same boat as vitamin C, vitamin E, resveratrol, and things of that similar nature. But CoQ10 is this is where it gets so interesting, and it's so important to take, especially after you get a certain age, your CoQ10 levels start to decline. But it's so unique in that it's the only antioxidant the body makes that can dissolve in fats. So if it can dissolve in fats, i.e. cholesterol and all that goopy mess that's floating around inside our body, it can actually do the work it's designed to do and stop the fats from turning into bad fats, which is a wonderful thing. And that, in a very simplified way, is the mechanism of action behind CoQ10 and how it helps lower cholesterol. So, and I'll get into a little bit deeper on the science end of that, but not only does it help in the fat department, but it also helps restore vitamin C and vitamin E. And like I said, those are powerful antioxidants too, but it restores those two vitamins to their active form. So think about that. You could take any antioxidant. You can take all of the vitamins that you want. You can take all of the minerals. You can eat right. But if you don't have anything that in your body that you supplement with that is attacking the fats in our body that become oxidized, meaning turn bad, then you're going to have this buildup of cholesterol and crap inside your arteries, right? Doesn't that make sense to you? This is how people, and it goes way deeper than that. Please, physicians and other medical people, don't flame me on this. I'm trying to keep this dumbed down, not disrespectfully dumbed down, but at a non-medical level, so lay people can understand the implications and the value of what I'm sharing and potentially help their life and or their lifespan and their health span. I mean, we all want a lifespan, yeah, but we all want a health span too, right? We want to live long, but we want to live long in a healthy way. So, like I said, not only does it dissolves in fats, it stops those fats from becoming damaged and helps restore other antioxidants that we take. So because of that, that means it has this paramount, this crucial role in protecting cell membranes and other fat-rich areas of the body from damage. So I guess in a nutshell, CoQ10 maintains the health of your cells by preventing oxidative damage to fats. That's what I would say. And then again, that's why it's so effective in reducing bad cholesterol. Because remember, cholesterol is just that, it's just that fatty, sticky, gooey buildup of the shit that we eat that our body can't process and assimilate and remove effectively. Let's see, I have a couple of notes here that I wanted to, let me just click through a second that I want to share with you. Let's see. All right, so remembering that it's the only antioxidant that dissolves in fat, which again, just to recap, it prevents oxidative damage. So when that LDL, that bad cholesterol, gets oxidized, it's more likely to form the plaque in your arteries, and then you'll be in the cath lab. Well, again, Nobody wants any part of that. But if you can take, which leads to, I don't think I said this, but leading to atherosclerosis and hardening of the arteries. But CoQ10 prevents this oxidation, right? We talked about that. And this preventing oxidation helps reduce that plaque formation. And truly, it's subsequent cardiac issues or cardiac events. And that is kind of the second piece to this. This is how CoQ10 prevents, or not prevents, but supports heart health. Your heart has an affinity for CoQ10. So if you're taking that in the proper form, again, that's the operative phrase, the proper form, and it's in a proper dosage, it's going to attack that fat as it needs to and should, and go to work and disperse all of that and help get rid of it so it doesn't build up in your arteries. And you don't end up in the ER and seeing my lovely friends up there in the TMH ER. God forbid. But if you do, that's your best chance because they're freaking awesome. So let's see how to say this. If your heart is healthy, it has a better way, or it can efficiently manage cholesterol levels. That's it in a nutshell. And we already talked about the antioxidant properties that it enhances when it comes to vitamin C and vitamin E. So if you have all these other free radicals floating around, just damaging particles that we breathe and that we eat and that we think, CoQ10 helps alleviate and in some instances prevent any of that stuff from harming us. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and I'm probably going to lose some of you here, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the CoQ10 and I don't want to say how it's produced, but essentially that's the best way to describe it, how it's produced. So and I'm going to show, I think I mentioned this before, but there was let me see if I can find this. There was a study done on Amazon, or there was a lab that had pulled 7 or 11 different, and if you want this later, just DM me and I'll send you the study. I have it, but again, I'm not tech savvy enough to share my screen and show you the thing that's sitting right here in front of me. But there was a study that showed 7 or 11 different CoQ10 manufacturers or contract manufacturers had less than the highest percentage of CoQ10 availability in the CoQ10 supplement was 50%. Many of them had 0%. And what I mean by that is if you flip on the back of your bottle, and let me see if I have something here. Oh, that's too small. So label claims. So you have label claims on a, can you see that? Why is this stupid thing blurry? That's so ridiculous. All right, it's good. Oh, there we go. Anyway, so you have supplement facts on the back of a bottle. And let's say the label claim is 200 milligrams of CoQ10. Well, that actually was so far from the truth. And oh, looky here, I did find it. All right, bear with me. I'm going to try and share my screen. If I lose you, well, oh gosh, I hope I don't lose you. Let's see. La da da da. Share screen. Share desktop. Let's see if it's going to work. Boom. Is it working? I have no idea. Can you guys see this? So this is the deal here. All right. So this is actually pretty frightening. Potency, oh, it is 11 products tested on Amazon. So 11 products tested on Amazon. And by the way, guys, this test was done by, again, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. It's done by somebody who does not make CoQ10. That's what we want to say. So Violate, look, there's 11 brands on here. Violator number 1, the claim on the back of the bottle was 200 milligrams. The test result, none detected. None. Percentage of the claim, 200 milligrams, that the test result detected, 0%. Zero. Same with violator number 2, not zero. And I'm going to tell you why this is, well, obvious implications, because you're paying for nothing, essentially. So violator number 3, 200 milligram capsule, and 0.46 milligrams in the capsule. Of 200 milligrams, you're getting less than 1% of what the 200 milligrams, what they said you were getting. 400 milligram cap for violator number 4. 400 milligrams is what you're buying. They detected 11 milligrams of CoQ10 in the capsule, which is 3%. 3% is what you're paying for. Violator number 5, 200, 8 milligrams, 4%. 6, 200 milligrams, 16 milligrams, 8%. Violator number 7, 400 milligram cap, which, by the way, is a little excessive, but it's not going to hurt you. The recommended amount is 300 per day. So 400 milligram caps, 219 milligrams, which is 54%. And this is 2020. So the same brands were retested, Violator 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in the first test was done in 2020. The second test done in 2022. Violator number 2, again, 200 milligrams. Oh, well, they upped it. Look, instead of 0% detected, they now have 6%, which is only 12 milligrams. So they went up 1%. And again, result number 1, violator number 3, 11 milligrams, they upped it to 12. Violator number 4 was 20 milligrams, upped it to 23 and 54%. And then 20, it's just an absolute shit show out there in this industry, which is why I do what I do. And I've done this too. I've just bought something off of Amazon. I bought the cheapest. I look at the reviews and I'm like, oh, I'll try that. And it's no wonder my labs didn't improve, right? And we're not even going to talk about this down here. These Violator 8, 9, and 10, these brands were not even on Amazon, but they were ordered independently from this particular company that did the test. And essentially the results are the same, just absolute shit. And these, by the way, are the most popular brands. And reputable, air quotes, I use that term lightly. And this is why, guys, you have to be so careful at what you're buying. And sometimes, a lot of the time, reviews aren't even accurate. You know, you can pay for reviews. I don't know if you've ever sold anything on Amazon, but you just pay people to leave your reviews. But let's talk about why those percentages were what they were and still are what they are in the majority of CoQ10. And a lot of people think, well, it has to do with ubiquinol and ubiquinone, which are the 2 forms of CoQ10, which in some instances that is true. One's already converted when you take it. The other, you take it and your body has to convert it, which it can do. But again, that's another video. We're not even going to be concerned with that right now. So what we're talking about is the importance of CoQ10 and crystal. This is where I'm going to lose some people, and I fully understand and respect that, but just do your best to listen to this, because it's pretty powerful. So the importance of CoQ10 is that in the formulation, in the crystal dispersion of that initial formulation by the raw material manufacturers. So let's say you buy CoQ10 from me, Cameron's CoQ10. It's who I get the raw material from and make the CoQ10. That's what this study is referring to. The crystal dispersion in the initial formulation is emphasized by that initial formulation. So what do we mean by crystal dispersion? Well, the problem is all these co-manufacturers and manufacturers, they have a lack of understanding of the process in understanding and determining the absorption and the subsequent metabolism of CoQ10. So what that does, if they don't understand what they're making and how to make it so it affects the bioavailability to the body, they're going to make incorrect claims, right? Because if you process something, any substance, a certain way, more than likely it's going to be reduced or changed to a different form. And anytime that, think about it, when you melt water, what happens? Or I'm sorry, when you melt ice, what happens? It becomes water. Well, you can't use it if it's a certain, you can't use water to freeze things. So it needs to be in a different form. It's the same, it needs to be in an ice form. Same thing with CoQ10. If it's in a different form, you can't use it. So all of these manufacturers, they don't understand the crystal dispersion and how important that is in manufacturing this CoQ10. And like I said, just very simply, this is resulting in them making incorrect, not necessarily malicious or intentional false claims, but they're nevertheless, doesn't matter if they're intentional or not. Well, it kind of does, but either way, the claims are incorrect regarding the label claims and the bioavailability of that supplement, the CoQ10 in this case, to you and to me. So we're buying a 200 milligram, 200 milligram, whatever, CoQ10 in this case, and we're getting 0% because they haven't used the crystal dispersion method in processing this CoQ10. And all that crystal dispersion method means is, so if, let's see how, let me just try to think. If you have, when CoQ10 crystals are I guess properly dispersed, there's these small cellularly microscopic particle size. And when they're that small, your body, your digestive tract, which is where CoQ10 is absorbed, it can absorb it better and at all. And if it's not properly dispersed in that crystal form and essentially just broken down into those small crystal forms, it can't be digested by your digestive tract, and therefore it can't enter the bloodstream and be effective in your body, and it can't go to your heart, and it can't go to your arteries where all the cholesterol has formed. So do you see this? Do you see the implications here? And that chart that I showed you, when you have all of these, you're buying 200 milligrams and there's 0% of CoQ10, and you're buying 200 milligrams and there's 1%, or there's 0.54%, less than 1 milligram. And this is the majority, guys, this is the majority of supplements out there. It's not just CoQ10. That should be frighteningly alarming, because how many supplements do you have in your cabinet, or have you bought in the past that you think it's doing good and you take it, you don't really tell a difference, like a multivitamin. You take your multivitamin, but you're like, I don't know, I'll just take it because I'm supposed to. Well, you don't know what's in it, and you don't know the first off, you probably don't know the mechanism of action, which is okay, but at the very least, you should understand what it's supposed to be doing. And a lot of time that's going to be reflected in your lab work. If you have a knowledgeable practitioner, probably a functional medicine or a naturopathic doctor, preferably not natural medicine, they're going to get it. They're going to understand. So, let's go back to that, the importance of proper dispersion. If these crystals aren't properly dispersed in this small particle size, they're not going to be absorbed. And the tests that are being run independently are not going to show that there's any active ingredient because they're not broken down properly. They're these big giant molecules that your body can't even absorb, and not even utilize. So you're completely wasting your body, or wasting your body and wasting your money. If you don't have a bioavailability, and that just means bioavailability is just the correct ratio, the proportion of a nutrient that is absorbed and used by the body. If you don't have proper bioavailability or higher availability, it's not going to get into the bloodstream and reach the cells where it can work as magic and make you feel better and give you more energy, um, and you live have a healthier and longer health span. Remember, not just lifespan, because all of my medical friends and even people that aren't my medical friends have been in assisted living care facilities, and they've seen people sitting in wheelchairs, with drool off their chin. That's a lifespan, but it's not a health span. And again, I don't want any part of that. So when those CoQ10 crystals aren't properly dispersed in that initial formulation, they're going to be like this. They're clumped together in these large cells, and your body cannot absorb large cells. And as a result, that bioavailability is reduced, according to the study, and that's not the only one, but it's reduced by 75%, which is why you saw all those percentages of 0.1% and 0.2%. A lot of that time, most of the product that you're buying is you're getting a bioavailability of about 0.25%, about 1/4%, but you're paying for 100% and you're getting 25%. So do you see the importance of finding a reputable source for the supplements that you take? And I'm not saying that these supplement manufacturers or distributors did this with any malintent. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but that's not really what I'm addressing here. I'm simply addressing that you have to know what you're getting and where does this raw material originate from and how it's made. If you don't have the proper processing procedure, it's going to be passed down to you, and it's going to make its way to your cabinet and then into your mouth, and you're peeing out money. It's as simple as that. So I sure hope this was helpful, because this kind of stuff, it means, it means so much to me, and I want to live a long life, and I want to live a healthy life, and I hope you do too. And hopefully the things that I share with you will enable you to do that. And if always, you guys know this, you can always reach out to me and I'll help you as best I can. If you need more intense coaching, of course, I do offer a variety of coaching solutions and services, and nothing is canned. I can't just send you a document that say, oh, it's going to be, $300 or $3,000 or whatever. And by the way, I've charged anywhere from $30 up to 5,000. It just depends on the nature of the need. But, like I've said, there's no price tag on health, and just be cautious with what you're buying, and um, have some degree of concern and suspicion about the things that you take. That's all I can say to you. All right, well, that's CoQ10 for today. I have no idea how long we've been recording. It's probably close to 35 or 45 minutes, but I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time. Hopefully to simplify supplements and try to keep it at a level that you can understand and that resonates with you. All right, until then, I'll see you next time.